Hello Algebra 2. This video lesson will walk you through the two word problems we worked on today. Both involved using 3x3 systems of equations. The first one is described here. It's this word problem about the movie rental store. You'll remember it from class. Hit the pause button if you need to and remind yourself what the scenario was. Okay, I'm going to assume that you've reminded yourself, and we said in class that we needed these three totals, the totals for how many videos were sold in each of the three store sections, general, rentals, children's, and videos for sale, and we put that together with the percentages sold of each different type of movie, comedy, drama, and action, and we came up with three equations, and these are those three equations. So now we have literally a 3x3 system of equations, three variables, comedies, drama, and action, and three different equations. So putting everything else aside except those three equations, remember we said that what we want to do is cancel, and the easiest, or combine the equations so variables cancel, and the easiest variables to cancel are going to be the ones, the action movies there, A. We talked about this in class, and notice that these bottom two here both have exactly the same coefficient and variable. So we simply subtract the third equation away from the second equation. The 0.2a's cancel. We end up 0.25c minus 0.2c, getting that. 0.1d minus 0.25d, we get this. And 1070 minus 1225, we get this. Okay, so now we have an equation that has two variables. And we've dealt with the bottom two equations. So let's set that equation aside. Remember, what we're trying to do is go from a 3x3 situation to a 2x2 situation. And we talked in class about the fact that we can't forget that first equation. We still have to make the a's cancel again using the first equation. So let's combine it with the second one. And in order to do that and to make the a's cancel, we would multiply the second equation there, this middle row, by -3. If we multiply everything in the middle row by -3, this is what we get. This is this equation here multiplied by -3. And we're going to combine it with that top one there, the one that ends in 3405. When we put those together, once again the a's cancel, and this is the two variable equation that we get. Remember, the point, as we talked about in class, is to make sure that we have a 2x2. So these have to match, they're both C, and these have to match, they're both D. Now we go through a third round. We've done 2 rounds already. And the third round is going to be a linear combination putting these two red equations together. So we want either the C's or the D's to cancel. If we multiply the second row there by 4, we can get the C's to cancel. Let's see how. Notice if I multiply this second row here in red by 4, this green equation is what I get. Now let's kind of cover up this equation. These are the two that we're going to combine. Notice the 0.20 C's are going to cancel. We combine the rest. We end up with this. And we solve for D, and we find that D is 1,700. This is the answer I gave you in class, 1,700. Now that I can plug back into any of these equations that have two variables, C and D. By doing that, I can solve for C. I pick this green one here, and in place of D I leave a blank, and into the blank I insert that 1,700. So this is the exact same equation here. It's just that instead of D, I put in 1,700. I solve that down, and I will find that C is equal to 2,000. Now I've got two of the three variables that I need. The comedies are going to be 2,000. The dramas, 1,700. I plug those back into any of the equations that I want up here that have all three variables. I picked this one here in black. And instead of saying C and D, I'm going to leave blanks, but I'm going to keep the 0.6a and the 3,405 as I have here. Plug in the results I got, the 1,700 and the 2,000, and I'm going to find that A equals equals 2,000. It's easy to think at this point that I'm done. This is a better way over here, though, of representing the answer, but the best way of all is to remember the units that you got. The real answer is 2,000 comedies, 1,700 dramas, and 2,000 action movies. If you just leave me this information here in black on the exam, I can't give you full credit because I don't know if you know what your answer means. Okay, I told you there was a second word problem in this video, and this is the second one we talked about in class. I'll go a little more quickly. We talked about this situation with the hockey sticks, skates, and helmets, turning that into a 3x3 system and setting everything else aside. Looks to me like the H's, or the helmets in other words, are the easiest things to cancel. In particular, the first two sets of helmets are easy to cancel. Let's cover up that third row, subtract to get rid of the helmets, and we'll find that this in red is what we're left with. Set that aside, that's one of our two equations. So now we've done one of the 3 rounds of linear combination. Now get rid of what we've covered up, or uncover what we had covered up, and remember that we can't forget about that third equation. We've got to combine it with one of the other two. Let's combine it with the second one. In order to make the helmets cancel again, this time I've got to multiply this bottom row by -4. If I multiply it by -4, this green equation is what I get. So for example, 2060 times -4 is this number here. Cover up everything else except the two that I'm combining. I'm combining this middle row with this new bottom row. The helmet column is going to cancel, and this is the new second equation that I got. Move that one over there, and now I've finished my second round of linear combination. And here comes the third round of linear combination, where I put the 2x2 together and I find one variable. All right, this is where some of the students in class got stuck. There's no easy way to make skates cancel or sticks cancel. Instead, I'm going to have to multiply both equations. One way to do that is to multiply them by their inverses. So I'm multiplying the bottom by 5 and the top by 3. I could have multiplied this row by 5 and this row by 9 if I'd wanted to make sticks cancel, but instead I just decided smaller numbers, 5 and 3, I'll make skates cancel. So I multiplied this row by 3, so this is going to be -15, and this row by 5, so this is going to become +15, and notice these are now going to cancel. And so they do, and I'm left now with, if I combine these two blue equations, 2 sticks is equal to 148, so the price of 1 stick is $74, and I put that up there. And I can put that answer, 74, into any of these equations here that just have 2 variables, including sticks. I choose this last one here in blue, and I put in place of sticks here, I put 74, and if I work that out, I'm going to find that skates turns out to be $249. Notice this time I wrote the units. Previously I hadn't, but I don't want to lose track of the information I'm actually organizing here. I'm gradually collecting my results. So now I know the price of the skates, I know the price of the sticks, I've organized it better up here, and this is a better way finally to report my answer. Now I've got to figure out the price of the helmets. I don't need the rest of this information any longer, just this up here is all I need. So clear everything out of the way, and plug 74 and 249 into any of these 3 equations. I picked the bottom one here because it has the smallest numbers, seems easiest. Plug those in, and I'm going to find that H equals 89, and that's my final answer there. $74 for the sticks, $249 for the skates, and $89 for the helmets. And that matches what I believe I showed you at the end of class today. Okay, that's it. Come into class with any questions that you have about these two. Your assignment, as it says on the website, is to solve 4 similar word problems. I'll look forward to seeing you in class.